Hussbus bus stop.
What's going on, everyone? Nick Hussey here of the Hussey Team Mortgage Advisors with this week's
Hussbus bus
Bust Up.
stop.
Hope everyone's well. Typically, in these videos, we talk about the market, how to get ready to buy a home, get pre-approved, what you can do to get in a better spot to purchase a home. Today, I want to touch on something a little bit different. I want to talk about once you're already under contract on the home and getting certain documents over to us, specifically bank statements and bank transaction histories, all right? A lot of times during the process, you're going to need to show you have assets to close, or you need to show certain deposits going into your account or a certain amount of funds leaving your account. And sometimes your current bank you bank with, the statement won't be ready yet, all right? So, for example, here's my checking account statement. It goes from May to June. But let's say I need to source something in July, which we're in July right now, but my bank doesn't have that statement available yet. So how do I go about getting a transaction sheet that's going to be accepted from the lender and the underwriter? Because I'll tell you right now, a screenshot, a phone picture from your bank account is not going to work. You need to get it a certain way. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's say I need to get a certain deposit in July for this account. Let me show you how to do that. So again, I bank with Citizens. It's going to be different from bank to bank. So I'm going to show you two ways to do it. First, let's start with this way with a Citizens bank account. So again, I need to get something in July, but my statement's not available yet. So I'm going to jump in. I'm already logged into my Citizen account. I'm going to find the account I'm looking to get, which is my checking, ending 9, my checking account. I go in there, and what you want to do is get all the transactions, so you get a full list of the transactions for this account, all right? Now, sometimes you don't want to show everything. If you have large deposits in the past, maybe you don't want to show the underwriter all that because it's going to bring up more questions. But you do want to make sure it overlaps with your most recent statement, all right? So this one ended June 24th. So I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to go to June, make sure I go to the 24th, and I'm going to put it out. Let's say I need to source a deposit on 7/15, okay? That $515.16 deposit. Let's say I need to source that, so I'm going to go there. I'm going to get these transactions to show from 6/24 to 7/15. Now, again, banks' websites are going to be different, but you should be able to find a list of transactions, be able to get a certain date range that you want to show. All right, so now I have it from 6/24, so it overlaps with my last account. And I have it up to 7/15, so it's showing that deposit I want to source. Now, Citizens, a lot of other banks, they make it easy on you. You just want to look for something that says print transactions, all right? So I know this seems simple, but this is going to be tough to do if you've never done it before. So I'm just going to click this print. And you're not actually going to print the whole thing out, okay? What you want is something like this, where it breaks out all your transaction histories, and you want to make sure they can connect it with your last account. Since I went to 6/24, you can see that little 6 cents deposit in there and even a $400 leave. And if I go back here, they'll be able to connect it with my account to know it's from the same account, which is good. There's that 6 cents going in, which is good to see because then they'll be able to connect it. And there's that $400K leaving. So they'll be able to connect this back to my account since my name's not on here. But again, come in here, you get the full transaction sheet here, right? A key thing too you want to remember is they're going to want to see this website, the URL on the bottom of these pages, or they will not accept it. This proves it comes from your bank, all right? So what to do that? If you go in this more settings, and your computer probably shows us more settings, this header footers buttons here, if that's not checked, it's not going to show that URL. You need that URL or they're not going to accept the transaction sheet. So make sure that's checked. Once you have that checked, you should be good to go. And I don't know if I said this, but you can print it out if you want and mail it in or take a picture of it, but I recommend just saving it as a PDF, save that up, click this save button, save it, then send it over to your loan officer from here. So that's the first way to get a bank transaction sheet that's going to be accepted by your underwriter, all right? The next one I'm going to jump to, which is a little different, this is going to be my Capital One account, all right? So I'm going to go back to the main page here so we can see it all. This is my Capital One savings. Oh, I'm going too far. And I have a bank statement from here as well. Again, this one ends in June. Let's say I'm trying to show something from July, but we're not through July yet, so that full statement didn't generate. How do I get a transaction sheet from my Capital One or another account that doesn't have that simple print transactions button that the Citizens make? one head, okay? At the bottom here, it says print transactions. If I look on Capital One, again, mine just pops up. Find all your transactions that you need. And like I said before, you're going to want to filter this so you're not showing, because you don't want to show any more additional stuff, just so no more questions come up. I'm going to overlap this with my June statement, which ended 6/30. And I'm just going to go out until, let's just do the full day, to today, which is 7/27, all right? So now this is going to give me a bank transaction history of all that stuff that happened from the end of June to July if I'm trying to show something. And that way, again, you need to do that so it overlaps with your account so they can connect it back with it. Now you can see there's no spot to print any transactions on here. Now there is this download transaction. Let's try that out. Now this gives me a CSV form. It's a spreadsheet, QBO, QuickBooks Online, and QVF. None of these are going to be accepted from your underwriter. You want something that's a PDF and that's going to show that URL on the bottom. So none of these are going to work. So how do you go about doing this? What you want to do is highlight literally the whole page, all right? Highlight every part of the page, right-click, print, or you can even go to File, Print, okay? And this should bring up, similar to that Citizens Bank one when we click print, this should bring up your full history here. I know it looks a little messy, but this will get accepted. As you can see, it shows all the transactions here. It shows the balance here as well. And the key there is that URL on the bottom. Again, to make sure that's there, this header footers buttons needs to be checked, okay? So that's another way to do it if your bank doesn't have the simple print transactions or let you download the transactions as a PDF. Key things to remember. One, make sure you're showing the correct date range and it overlaps with your last full statement that you have. Okay, that way they can connect it back to your bank. You're going to make sure the balances are shown in here, and of course a certain deposit or withdrawal you're trying to show. And another key that a lot of people forget is you're going to need that URL in there as well, so they can connect it back and know it came from your bank account, just so they don't think you just made this sheet up yourself. That's pretty much it. Again, it's going to differ from bank to bank, but both these options should be the best way to get a full bank transaction history from your account if your statement's not ready. Kind of winged this video, so I hope that all made sense. It wasn't too confusing. Again, if you run into issues, always call your loan officer or mortgage guy. They can help talk you through it. Or another way to do it, go directly to your bank, and you can ask them to print you out a full bank transaction history and sign and date it for you. So that's another way from the date range you want. You can go to your bank, they'll print it out for you and give it to you. But this is a way you can do it from home and get it done quick, so you don't need to drive out to the bank. Hope this was helpful, and looking forward to catching you guys in the next one. Have a great week.
Hussbus, bus stop.